I tried to set up the mic. I don't know if it's working. Nothing like making a squirt happen. Do a mic check, see if anyone's... Oh, we got 7 in here. Any, can anyone tell me if my microphone's working? Well, I don't see any comments. I'll keep working. Rock jam. So I was just working an area where there was some exposed bedrock, and I managed to get a little piece of gold off of it. I wish I had brought this that trip. You can always tell when something's stuck on the tip. Got to clean your tip. That gathered a fair bit of material for us. And that's stuff that would be real difficult to scoop up. I'm just gonna pour those pour what we got in here into here. Then we'll process it and see if this made a difference versus those two little pieces I got earlier. Well, we got 65 back in here. Right on. Is my microphone working? I'm wearing double mics now. I connected the phone and my other camera's recording, which I better double check is. Yep, it is. Right on, more people in here. It's working. It's not that quiet because I got close to the phone. Probably noisy with the pump and my working and huffing and puffing, but you know, it's legit. Hopefully I actually get something this time. Right on. Thank you, guys. Thank you. The time is now 7:16 Alaska time. I need to move some more big rocks out of the way. Serpentine. It's not translucent, so it's not quite to what jade would be, but I can feel by the weight it's a fairly heavy stone. That's a good sign. This is one of the indicator rocks for this area. I have never seen jade out here, just serpentine. That's close, but not quite. Still a beautiful green stone. It's not to say that jade isn't out here, but I'm gonna scoop some of the easy overburden. And maybe I'll go get my 1/4-inch classifier because maybe I'm not getting it through the 1/8 inch as well as I thought. It's a green stone with like veins of quartz going through it. It's kind of cool. I don't know if it's an agatized jasper or something like that. We do get green jasper too, but you have to feel the weight, which if you noticed I was bopping that one green stone around. The jasper's not quite as heavy feeling as the serpentine. We're getting some good scoops out of this now. Once I get to that rock barrier, we'll resume pumping. That's one problem with these. The rock, there's a bar in here to stop bigger rocks from going in. But that bar is stopping. Let's try straight pipe. It's a learning curve. My son got this for me last year, and I worked so much, I never got out to get use of it. And I really wanted to. And then everything froze up. Snow filled this canyon, snow filled everywhere up. The straight pipe's working a lot better. And if a rock's big enough to get jammed on that, I'm able to stop it. I could see on a very fine gravel bank, if you're trying to clear it out, this would be good, but with the leaves and little rocks, that bar, it just gets plugged up. Or if I was on a little bedrock area, I know that narrower one would be good. I might need to look into making a longer reach one, because that bedrock I was working, which I'd like to go back and try some more, I know it I know it has more gold. That you get to that point where unless you have some sort of tool, you can't scoop it up, and it's right there in the cracks. You just can't quite get to the right spot. I'll tell you what, if I do this too much with just my right arm, I'm gonna look a little funny, but, all right. Clean that line out, just get some focus on water. I'm gonna check the comments here, rest my arm a little. 135, holy moly. Wow. All right. That's pretty cool. Right on. Well, hello everyone. I appreciate everyone being here. I'm just trying to get my little specks of gold. Nothing crazy. It's 7:24 in Alaska. We got another couple hours, 2 or 3 hours actually. I don't think it's quite 11 p.m. when sunset is, but sun will be going down behind the canyon wall. It's just right there here shortly. So we've got a fair bit of material already gathered. This sometimes it's called a yabby pump or a hand dredge, but it's doing pretty good. All right. I just wanted to pop in, see if there were any comments or questions that I could match in a second. I can't read the chat while I'm doing it. My phone is flipped around, so the quality is better on me. And I'm just working. You gotta watch me work. So behind the scenes of a lot of gold mining videos, it's a lot of this kind of work where you're working a volume of material. And all too often people keep checking and seeing, do I have gold? Do I have gold? Do I have gold? I've tested this spot before. I know it has gold. Now I'm just trying to isolate where it's at. I always like to check the rocks. You never know if you got a cool one that was in there with the heavies. In this area, I don't worry about nuggets. There's no translucence. That's why you bring a flashlight. If you see one of these green stones and it has some translucence, there's a chance it has some jade. But just serpentine. Made it. I just threw the good stuff in. Whatever. That was phooey. Oh well. We're getting a lot more greenstones. That could be good. Could mean nothing. The saying with gold is gold rides an iron horse, but not all horses have riders. And that's about black sand. Almost all the time when you find gold, you're gonna have some iron black sands. It's that final pain in the butt part to clean up in your pan. Man, getting a lot of good materials here. I got a boulder right here, sandwiched. I'm gonna see if I can get it to wiggle. Getting pretty good progress. I do think it's time to set up over there and actually test the materials. Because I could keep digging and digging and digging and get nothing here, and it might have all been over here. So to isolate where we were, I gotta clean the water pump out. Now this area, the reason I look at rocks so much here is up higher on the stream, there are lode mines. One of them up in these mountains over here. You can see, if you're familiar with Jason on Mount Baker Mining and Metals, he does a lot of smelting and stuff. He actually visited one of those mines up in these hills way up. We got a quartz stringered piece here. Nothing mineralized in the zone. We got a heavy mineralized quartz with a line of mineralization that's kind of, we'll crush that later. I've got a mini rock crusher at home. It doesn't hurt to test it. I think I got this cleaned out. Suck up one more. I don't feel any sand or dirt gravels. Not too bad. I'm gonna carry these over towards the water, get set up, then I'm gonna move you with me. I'm setting up right over there. That's a full one. I gotta watch my step. Last thing I need to do is injure myself and lose a mining season. I need to grab a scoop. I didn't have one last time. All right, let's move on over. I didn't suck out those two little pieces from the last live. I'll set those there. I got those two snuffers in case I want to pull some of the black sands away. I'm going to adjust this tripod. All right. Setting up the tripod on one of these boulders, trying to make the legs even. Let me go get my hand scoop so I could actually scoop that material effectively. All right. Oh, the chat's paused. Okay. Life of a gold prospector, pumping good. Yep. I might have to get a bigger bucket for that hand pump and see how it does. All right. Let's see if we can get some gold out of this material. I also brought, this is for separating the magnetics. This is a test, so I'm not entirely worried about getting everything. Although I want everything, don't get me wrong. Much better. We'll do about 2 inches of material in this pan. This is the Garrett Super Sluice Gold Pan. It's got some really large riffles, so it holds a lot of material. So when I get my material in there, I like to dunk it, get it wet. I like to do a circle motion so that all the heavies come to the center. And then from the center, I go side to side, which then, as I tip, takes it to the very center bottom. I don't use two hands when panning because I can't really do much with this one accurately and holding it. Sometimes I'll hook the pan if I know I have a stable area. But if I drop it, which happens with a damaged hand, you lose the gold. So side to side as I tip. And a wash down off the top. Then I like to take it, lay it flat back. That way these two big riffles are clean, and tip it back in. Do it again. Bring it back again. And I still have some material in there. Oh, I'm not worried about seeing one or two pieces. I want to work this. The water is just like, the water level's low, but there's no good solid spot to set up a sluice. They're all too deep. I'd have to have a leg kit or a power sluice. About 2 inches of material in the pan again. Now I could load them up heavier, but my circle swirl, get it to the center of the pan on the flat bottom, side to side, keeps that line center, run it down. Rinse the dirty top stuff off, bring it back, side to side. If you ever watch Dan Hurd, you see he does the side to side, but he does it like this, but kind of missing something to hold it right. Now I didn't screen this down to 1/8 because I didn't want to waste the time doing it. And maybe there are bigger pieces. I doubt it. All right, we're not looking yet. It's a problem with production when you're trying to get gold. Taking too much time to look at what gold you may have takes up time. You could be getting more. It's a volume of material. If I do start to see the black sands build up a lot in here, then we'll check them, work them. I'm plucking off the bigger rocks here. I like to do a rake motion with the water. I don't have too many big ones in here. It'd be nice if I raked and had a nugget. Take it, fan it back, pluck the obvious ones. And one reason I like to fan it back is it brings the level of material more shallow, and it lets, because the less gold has to drop through, it's gonna stay on the bottom and ride the bottom to the crest of the pan. And this little tight spot right here and be caught in these riffles. Let's do a peekaboo. Well, we're getting more. Let me get over here. We've got one bigger piece and a couple other little ones. So the two we got earlier from the first live, we got one bigger piece. We still got a load of material to go and what's in the little golden sand bucket. So we are on gold. We are on gold. Is this gonna make wages? No way. The wages, the good spot for wages are way away. The place I normally go to where I can get a nice line of gold and powder and stuff still is blocked by snow. You need a special vehicle like an Argo, or you might be able to get back there with a well set up side by side or buggy, but a regular truck, it's too muddy. Too muddy, too snowy. One of those green stones. We're gonna add more material. I might have to make a special trip back to Hope just to work that bedrock, because it has me wondering. If I saw that piece of gold sitting right on that bedrock in a public area, because dredge season here is there and here is May 15th to July 15th. It's a limited window because of the salmon spawning. That's when we can do the work here. Plane overhead. I'm just doing a super concentrate down, get about 1/4 inch of material in the pan, add it to about 2 inches of material in the pan, work it down, tighten it up. Leaving that material in the pan gives me kind of that buffer zone that I'm not letting the gold go. I'm not in the final process. Swirl to the center, shake it to the side, tip it down, center runs down. Get it real, don't be afraid to shake your pans. Bring it back, rake the bigger rocks out if you didn't classify too small. We didn't really classify but to 1 inch, so basically the 3/4 minus. I'm not sure of the actual volume of this tub, but it seems like it's about 5 gallons. That's a little bit heavier of a pan. Another one of those dense green stones. Now I'm not digging into the material. I'm just rubbing scraping the top to get the larger rocks. We're almost through this pan here. We got that worked. Now I got this material. I could just sit and listen to this water all day. Nothing conspicuous in that little bit. I don't see anything caught on this lip. It's a problem I can see with this bucket is this lip right here. Catching onto some of the gold when you get it wet and pour it out, but overall, this thing works pretty good. That hand pump and everything. Final pan. Everything else, I got snuffer bottles. Now I'm going to be a little more careful on this end process. If this water were more still versus I'm still getting waves in this little cove. So I don't want anything drastic to happen on this final material. Plug in the final rocks. Snuffer bottle's handy. What I like to do sometimes is I'll suck the black sands out of the way with one and the obvious clean gold with the other. Then I know I have one to rework, one that's clean. Because it's difficult in the field to do that. Let's get over here and I'm going to put it in the camera. Get my adjustment made. Okay. What is my phone at? All right. Make sure it's not gonna go out. All right. So I got you on this rock here. Now I can look into the pan and see. Let's hope we got more than that one. Okay. There's definitely more. I think that one tool really worked. That's a pretty good, wow. 1, 2, 3, 3 good flakes. I'd say like 10, 8 or 10 medium flakes and a lot of little powder. So that fine gold is definitely elusive. Look at that. Let me get this, see if I can zoom this in a little better and not obstruct the quality. Oh, there we go. So for comparison, there's my finger. These aren't nuggets, they're flakes. But look how tiny that stuff is. So that little pump did really good. It actually helped out. So we're doing a little tap, roll, tap, roll. We're trying to get, the sun's literally just now going behind those trees. Let's get the snuffer bottle. Now what this is, if you don't know, maybe you're a fan of prospecting or whatever, there's a tube that runs through. So when I squeeze this bottle, it'll create a vacuum, which will draw water in through that straw into the back. When I release the suction, it sucks up that gold. Now I'm not going to do all that right now. So I need to get this a little bit further. I can't do it looking through the camera, but that's our gold for the day. There's actually, you can see there's more fine gold in this black sand. If I could keep it on the camera. So we got some good flake. We got some good powder. That was definitely a good test. That was probably 10 gallons of material ran, which would be equivalent to 2 buckets. One was a half bucket of 1/8 inch minus. Others are a bit different, so your result may vary. And that's that. I'm gonna get cleaned up, get things put away before it cools off and gets all weird. The mosquitoes are eating me alive. Ah, I just got that one. Look at that little varmint. So, I appreciate everyone being here. I used to go live on a different platform and do that more often, and I went on here before and had no one interacting whatsoever, and now I have tons of interaction. So I appreciate everyone being here. So, I'm Justin, Alaska Gold Hunter. And may your pans be golden, and you have a good morning, day, or night, whatever it is, wherever you are.